Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play of Disco Elysium on the PC. That's right, this Let's Play is still going on, baby. And I have no idea how far along in this game we are. I mean, there's a lot of games I can sort of tell, but I don't know. I mean, I guess one thing that we can tell, seemingly, is if we open up our map. We have been to the majority of locations presented on the map. Except for this island. There's this whole little island there. But aside from that, you know, we've traversed this area, so that's pretty good. And we're getting to the part now of sort of, I guess, figuring out what to do. I suppose we have. It's not like the first 12 videos or whatever, where it's just like keep running around and discovering things. Now we're actually trying to solve certain problems. So there's progression happening. Our main problem is, of course, finding Ruby, the 8th Hardy boy who is potentially responsible for actually shooting this guy whose death we're investigating for reasons unknown. It would also be nice to find our gun, but I don't know what to really say about that. So we're just sort of poking around these homes and stuff, looking for anyone that might know where Ruby went. A wedding stone, well worn and covered in rust. White curtains have been drawn in, no looking in. Construction material. Whoever planned to build this house left in a hurry. Left behind some money. There we go. These guys will know something.
Hey, tequila!
A 30-something man clad in a two-piece lycra tracksuit puts down his pilsner and extends his hand in greeting.
Good to see ya. How's business? How's the old reality situation treating ya?
Shake his hand.
So what's happening?
He picks up his beer. Tequila.
Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
He says it like it's obviously your name, like you call someone Billy Bruno or leader of the 4th Street Gang. Good, these people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later. No, people tell me I'm a cop. I'm getting used to that.
It's good to hear you're on top of things. Talking about the used, did you know that I used to be a real mover and shaker?
He thoughtfully picks at his shit-stained lycra jacket.
Sadly, things ain't going that well in Idiot Doomspiral land. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of arse back. No word from my business buddies.
He takes a sip from his beer. This guy's your buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to an organization, a fraternity, of drunks. Idiot Doom Spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good, high-concept conversation. At last. Have you seen a red-haired woman named Ruby around here lately? Can't really remember seeing any women after losing my keys. It's a touchy topic. He hasn't gotten laid in ages. He really has no idea who this Ruby is, sire. Could you and your pals sign this document? What's it about? He waves his hand apathetically. I'll let my hand address the situation. Maybe you've heard. I used to be a very successful businessman. I've signed more than a few lease forms or whatever the fuck they were. He looks around. Anyone's got a pen? The pro's gonna do it. No, unfortunately. I got a freebie when I purchased a whole carton of cigarettes. He produces a white pen with brown logos. Smoke cigarettes, get a free pen. Deals don't come any sweeter. Thanks, Rosie. Okay. He grabs the pen and paper from your hands and very carefully scribbles on the dotted line. Idiot Doom Spiral. I need at least 2 signatures on the document. Hey, Abs! Shouts to the mumbling drunkard next to him. Hey, Abs! The man looks around confused. Don't you call Abigail? Need you to sign this document right here. He waves the paper and pen in front of the man's face. It's important. Don't call her. His trembling hand catches the paperwork, and he lays it out on his knee and starts writing slowly. The handwriting is almost illegible due to his shaky hands. His friend grabs the document and admires it. Dom Waklal Abakul. Great job, Abs. Nailed it. He hands it back to you. You've done a great service to the village, to the RCM, and to Revachol. Hey, guys, we're heroes! He waves his hand erratically to the other guys. Oh, fucking time, man. I've done my duty. He brings his hand up to his head for a salute. Don't call Abigail. He snorts and takes a swig from his bottle. The bottle is empty. Thank you for your services, gentlemen. He turns to you. Should we go and mail this? I think I saw a mailbox on Plaza. Mailbox Plaza, got it. Okay, that might lead to me getting my gun back. 70 cents. Just sit next to these drunks. Okay. Postcard. A bow knot. +2 drama. See a dark red chair in the dim light of the room. Wonder why we were allowed to enter this building. I mean, the door was open. I guess it makes sense. There's a boat tucked away underneath the tarpaulin cover. Oh yeah, this car wreck. Should look at it. Get some fuel. Ooh, is that? Can I paint with that? Oh, no, it has to be government. Okay. The motor carriage looks very sad, sitting all alone in the ice. That rebel who jumped the canal and broke the water lock. This is their doing. This is where the rebel who jumped the canal ended up. Not so daring anymore. No. Lieutenant looks at the carriage and then at you. Not so daring at all. Let's investigate. I agree, Lieutenant replies, a curious look in his eyes. We should definitely investigate. You get a sudden sinking feeling. Stomach acid comes up as you look at the motor carriage in the deep, dark, cold water. Why the doom and gloom? It's just a sunken motor carriage. Some motor carriages are bound to end up in the sea. Run your hand over the cold metal. The motor carriage is properly stuck in the ice. Getting it out would require a team of specialists. What is the make of this MC? Can I see a logo? The logo is too deep in the murky water. You can't make it out. But you do see a monkfish float by. How long has it been here? The ice hasn't closed around the vehicle yet. He leans forward to peek into the cold water. My guess is it's been here since last Saturday or Sunday. The estimate is correct. The incident probably occurred on Sunday evening. Well, looks like Jacob Ur's journey came to an abrupt end here. Your mocking tone finds no response but the motion of the waves. Did you say something, Lieutenant? I did not. Okay, what should we do? Let's wait for the low tide and see what's inside. Great idea, then we can get the good things inside. The Joyrider must have left something good inside. Guns, papers, maybe a cool jacket? A Joyrider jacket? A Joyrider jacket? You feel a strange connection to this Joyrider. Maybe he's from some kind of Joyrider's district and likes blue and white racing livery. Like a cop would. How long will it take for the low tide to come in? I don't know, an hour or two tops. Sit on the swing and wait for the tide to recede. As you sit down in the old rusty playground, the world around you becomes very silent. Nothing but the sound of seagulls high above in the sky, echoing like distant laughter. Ice cracks around the blue motor carriage in the sea. Hold on, it looks very blue. Yes, it does. What's your favorite blue thing? Lieutenant is staring at the wreck. Let me think about it. Whistle a tune. Nice. The tune on your lip forms a strange yet undeniably beautiful contrast with the surrounding bleakness. Lieutenant gives you a quick glance. Then, still looking straight ahead, he joins you with a higher-pitched and slightly more melodic trill. Two birds on a wire, whistling by the seaside, looking at the water, and a sunken car. The wind blows. In the distance, behind the church, some vagrants are having an argument over a bag of tear they found in the reeds. Further away, a flock of seagulls lands. Clouds pass in the sky, and the shadow of the swing moves like the hour hand on a timepiece. 30 minutes have passed. Looks like this might take a while. Time to present a good topic for discussion. Was your dad also, you know? Tide sure is taking its sweet time. I believe it's following a pattern set millions of years ago by cosmic forces. But I suppose it could move quicker, yes. Clouds on the horizon grow darker, and the shadow of the swing set keeps climbing. You hear the distant rumble of the city. 30 minutes pass. If you have to side with either the strikers or the shipping company, who would you choose? Luckily, I am already a member of an independent organization, and therefore do not have to choose between a rock and a hard place. I understand. You're saying you're siding with the Union. Your voice echoes in the water, strange and out of place in the environment. 30 more minutes pass. You make out the mark now. Detective, I've been able to make out the mark ever since we arrived. I find it odd that you haven't. It's a Cupris, Model 40. His eyes turn to you. It is a simple and rugged machine, favored by working men, government offices, he pauses to think, firefighters, animal control people. You know, those kinds of people. Squint your eyes and say, is that a number on the side? Yes, 41. What do you think it stands for? It's as if he knows what it stands for, but wants you to say it. It's pedagogical. Does he know something about the speed racer? Uh, 41 is his rank in the underground street racing hierarchy. Small fish, this one. But it could also be, he tilts his head and stresses, the number of a police precinct. Precinct 41. Your precinct. A massive pit opens up in your stomach, and the most terrible feeling comes over you. No. Just nope. Say no to this, Harry. No. Yes, your car is in the sea. Face it so we can start dealing with this. I mean, seriously, it's just a coincidence. Lieutenant just shakes his head. Oh my god, it's mine. I drove my car into the sea. I'm afraid, yes. It looks like you drove your police motor carriage into the sea after you jumped across the canal. Maybe I was in pursuit of someone. Of whom? Lieutenant looks skeptical. I don't think so. If anything, you were probably drunk. How do we get it out? Detective, he says almost gently, we don't. A rescue operation really isn't viable at this point. So it's just gonna be there like that? I'm afraid it will have to be there like that for many years. He looks around. Look at it. Parts of it might be salvageable, but overall this machine is a write-off. I can still fix it. That is very unlikely, Lieutenant replies with a sigh. All the electrics are toast. That goes for the electromagnetic steering and brake systems as well. You'd be lucky to find one undamaged component in there. He shakes his head. In a few months, there will be nothing but rust left of this vehicle. It'll be cheaper to buy a new one. Well, not cheaper. This motor carriage costs 40,000 real. But in the long run, it still makes more sense to buy a new machine than try to refurbish this. People are going to be angry at me, aren't they, in Precinct 41? Let's face it, this is a substantial loss to your district's budget. He's avoiding your gaze now. I mean, my station only has 4 other vehicles in addition to my kinema. This was 20% of the station's vehicular budget. They're not going to take me back after this, are they? People are more valuable than machines. He's trying to cheer you up now. Training a police officer is even more costly. The badge, the gun, and now this. Lieutenant adjusts his glasses and doesn't say anything. There's also a 4th thing you lost. A 4th thing? More precious than the gun, the badge, and the motor carriage combined. Lost forever, into the deepest of seas. Well, at least I can see what's in there now. Yes, let's go take a look. How did it interact? With what? Why did it tell me to interact with something? My badge and my commander's jacket. Oh, damn. Thick blue piece of acrylic covering a thin leaf of paper with the officer's name and rank on it. Next to the writing, you see a man stare back at you. A younger version of you, already disintegrating inside, but still presentable on the outside. A police badge on which you see the photo of a man. You. Some seaweed is stuck to the back. I found my badge! At least something good came out of all this. Lieutenant glances at the badge in your hands. Study the badge. Encased between 2 durable plastic sheets is a bluish card with lines of information, and a watermark in the shape of the street grid of Revachol West. You see a photo, a name, a rank, a document number, the date of issue, and in the lower right corner, your precinct. Look at the photo. The man keeps winking at you with his green-gray eyes. The photo is old, no doubt about that. But the badge is new. You used an old photo for a new badge. Good choice. A newer photo would look different. How old? 8, maybe 10 years? The guy in the picture is rather good-looking. He's got a nice haircut and is distinctly lacking in massive sideburns. And he's winking? Why? Why do you think? His face is already contorted by the expression, although it looks less grotesque on him than it did on you. It looks like you had quite the charming face, way back then. Your hair is brown and slightly curly. Your eyes seem more clear somehow. The lack of alcohol swelling is a bonus, though there's a pinch of that in your cheeks already. Don't be fooled. The bad times have already begun. The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see lines of information on it, and a shining watermark. Harrier Dubois. Harrier. That's a long for Harry. So you are Harry, he thinks. Everard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry Dubois didn't. What kind of name is Harrier? It's a wartime name. Revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during troubled times. Like Undyne, or Boxer, or Ironhide. A name like Armor. Harrier Dubois it is then. Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier Dubois. He's not going to call you Harrier. He'll keep calling you Officer when he's angry with you, and Detective when he's not. Okay. Rank. LTN 2JFR. Lieutenant Double Yefreighter. What is the Lieutenant Double Yefreighter? Lieutenant is a rank above Sergeant and below Captain. It is the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. I am a Lieutenant. And Double Yefreighter. The title of Yefreighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, Captain. Lieutenant explains. You have declined twice, thus you're Double Yefreighter. Declined? There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's decomptage might be taken. Or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superiors, out of respect. And sometimes, he continues, they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank. In your case, Lieutenant. Heavy-duty case-solving machine. What's a decomptage? Decomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol Citizens Militia. It means counting down to 2s. The countdown is modeled after the dual leadership system employed by the left during the Revolution, which in turn was developed by last-century experimental psychologists in the University of Königstein. The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. That's basically it, except for a few kinks. What kinks? Kinks like satellite officers and the additional Yefrater rank I already explained. The long and short of it is, you're his superior. Nice. Satellite officers. You are given the title of satellite officer if your partner is quickly promoted through the ranks and you rise with him. You don't seem to be a satellite. So you've been putting up with all my bullshit because I'm your superior? No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you're doing good police work. It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea. He smiles encouragingly. And now we've even found your badge. He trusts you, for now. Try not to spoil it. Turn back to the document. Serial blah 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 blah. That's just the serial number. Revachol Jamrock Precinct 41. Some numbers thrown in there for good measure. The numbers are not there for good measure. They have an administrative purpose. One that's unfortunately been erased from your memory. Date of issue, 7th of November 50. 4 months ago. I'm guessing that's when you were promoted to the rank of Lieutenant W. Freighter. A new badge usually comes with a new rank. You seem to have been doing well then. You're pretty sure you weren't doing well, but better? Probably yes. A lot can happen in 4 months, especially in winter. The winters are never easy on you. Of that you are sure. Precinct 41? Yes, it's the designation of your precinct, 41. Like mine says 57. The 57th is mostly industrial harbor, a lot of asphalt. The 41st is... He stops. What? It's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should have 3 precincts, but money is what it is. It's no wonder you are like you are, he thinks. But then again, a faint smile. It's a legendary district. And a hell of a station, too. It must be an honor and a curse to work with people like Price, McCoy, Berdyayeva. Holy shit. Berdyayeva. Roberts, Feuerbach, Demetri. Suddenly names from your decomptage flash in your forebrain. The badge. Okay. That's the badge. What about that sweet jacket? A black uniform jacket with RCM's signature white rectangle on its right sleeve and backside. Letters inside the collar read, Lieutenant 2 JFR. The jacket is of exceptional quality other than some minor wear and tear. Dude, I'm definitely putting that shit on. But now I need pants. And the gloves. Alright. God, do I have any better gloves? Okay, those look better. Maybe I should just play Fashion Elysium from here on out. The shirt's good. The pants, I really need some, like... Oh, God, that doesn't look great either. Oh, man, Are you sure there's no pants in the car? I could really use some pants. Oh, God damn it. I guess I might as well match color, if anything. Let's get this fucking bag out of my hand. And get the... Let's just do that until I have a gun. And then the hat. Let's go back to the Dick Mullen hat. I guess that's okay. I'm sure my skills are all fucked now, but we're playing Fashion Elysium. Alright. Let's mail this... Oh wait, hold on. Someone has broken down the fence and the barbed wire. Swing is missing. No one's been here for a long time. Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing. The wind whistles through the skeleton of the small house behind you. There's desolation everywhere. What happened here? In this yard? Lieutenant looks at the small building. A flock of gray swallows takes off in the distance. He's assessing the situation. How long ago it was abandoned? Someone thought they could have a summer house in a block obscure. For cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago. So this part of the coast is a block obscure? Practically. It's not an official term in any way, but spreads his arms. Look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life is tough in the blocks. It's no place to build a summer house. Maybe they left something useful behind. Yes, for you to scavenge, like a post-apocalyptic scavenger who collects trash and errant magnesium blisters. It gives you a wary smile. A weary smile. It's not meant as nagging, just an observation. We should move. I don't think our suspect is in this particular yard. No place to hide, and besides, it's too close to Martinez. But I gotta scavenge, baby. The wind is corralled by the 4-story buildings around this yard. All that money! Glory, says the graffito, to the ghosts of us. Someone has left their music collection beneath the tarpaulin. Oh, let's grab it. Smallest church in St. Sens. Okay. Well, we got something. Oh, what's happening here?
That's one brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull right now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it neon style.
Snazzy shit ripped skull mobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads, scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
Skulls. Now there's a strong organizational title. Who are you?
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
It's sort of weird that they use this word in the game decently often. I mean, more so than pretty much any other video game I can think of. But they censor it, which sort of defeats the purpose of including it in your writing anyways. Isn't the whole presence of it in the game meant to be sort of offensive? And I mean, that's why you, I mean, why else would you put it in the writing? I don't know, it just seems sort of weird. I want, no, there's probably no, like, toggle or anything to, like, turn off the censorship. I'm sure this is all just baked in. It just feels sort of weird, like, they half committed to it. Like, we all know what's going on here, but they didn't want to go the whole mile.
The part of the presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls. Yet.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs. Who are the skulls? You don't know? What kind of cop are you? It's not a question. Don't get into it. Of course I do. I'm just testing you boys. Skulls are the most vicious gang of the what? His voice rings with excitement. Besmertni, or the Besmerti, the Immortals, are West Rebisholian crime syndicates. The nastiest bunch of psychos ever, jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases. Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi. Non-verbal. If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word. They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicles. Oh, I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive. You know anything about the murder that took place here? Murder? A man was hanged in the backyard of the Whirlington Rags. Yeah, sure, we'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. He clears his throat. It was a man. Also, he was hanged. Don't fuck around, I'm the law. He was hanged from a tree. Yeah, I mean, duh. These punks don't know anything, let's just move along. Hey, stop right there, how does one know anything? Sounds like epistemology. Field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself. Or is that epistemology? I don't remember. It might be epistemology. However, there's no way these young men could possibly be aware of her work. I know that you don't know shit. Exactly, how can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind the hostel? What if it's art, or just a mere specter? Maybe it's true, the hanged man is merely a prop in a performance. We are the audience, and the artist is hiding somewhere in the dark. That could be the case, yes, a brilliant work of art. Lieutenant raises an eyebrow, but does not comment. Do you guys know Cindy the Skull? Young man's eyes glaze over as he marks in a voice filled with longing. Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull. Yeah, the other guy lights up too. A true artist of the future, just like Arno van Eyck. By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards. Yeah, it's returning from whatever void he was just visiting. For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are not lacking in youthful idealism. Lieutenant, on your left, is unusually lenient towards them. Who's Van Eyck? Old man, it doesn't matter. He'll be long gone before his greatness is recognized. A young woman kneels on a sheet of ice as if looking for something lost ages ago. She bends until her right ear touches the frozen water. She listens to it crack, slowly. Yeah, I guess you're right, I'm pretty old. Yep. He nods enthusiastically. Old as fuck. Yeah, man, it's like at death's door. No wonder you know nothing about the future. You won't be there. Judging by that, Van Eyck is some sort of musician, or killer. Why aren't there more skulls in Martinez? The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, or at least where gangs are concerned, the Lieutenant replies instead. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here. Apart from the Union themselves, of course. Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit. Yeah, we are. The young men exchange approving nods. Your rhetoric is confusing. Are you part of the Skulls or not? We're not franchised Skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them. And what makes you think that the organization would accept you? Because we can be just as psycho and vicious. You'll see. Oh, you'll see for sure once we're in. It's the last thing you'll ever see before the void consumes you. Throw him off his game. Are you sure a skull would say that? He looks confused. Well, yeah, I mean, we're only saying practice things for now, so we don't mean no harm to the Skulls brand, or to you. This is definitely something the Skulls would say, but we're not trying to encroach on the Skulls brand in any way. On the contrary, we're just here to market it. So you're just pretending to be as nasty and vicious as the Skulls. Hey, we can be just as hard, like pavement on top of pavement, or a brick on top of another brick, or a grave on top of a grave. These kids have the vocabulary, but might be missing a brain. Wouldn't a grave on top of a grave be just a big hole? What's hard about holes? Filling them up, baby. Enough about this scullery, then. What's with the jackets? What about them? Why does your jacket have this written on it? Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss. The word epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world, things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And I guess it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message. Makes sense. What I mean by this is we are all piss faggots, and that the world is inherently meaningless. Jesus. Though he seemed lacking in vocabulary, it seems that the young man has expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow. Why do you have "fuck the world" written on your jacket? Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as a kinship, the thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it. I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket or are they derived from something else entirely. Catch a fish, you need to hurl the lure many times, and even then, it isn't certain you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though. Blow it up. You get more fish in a shorter time, and for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world, and not get caught up in fucking someone. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void. I should just post this shit on Twitter or something. Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point. Is it coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops? Definitely coincidence. Your lack of imagination is baffling, but you do make up for it with, yes, questions. Ask the jackets for yourself and Lieutenant. Why not? Fuck it. These guys aren't scary. You're not scary. I have nothing to work with here. It's either begging or bullying, or both. Just ask him, maybe. Gentlemen, I need your jackets. Why? Look at the shit I'm wearing. Yeah, like you said, total shit. What about it? There's a spark of sympathy in the youth's eyes. You didn't say that. I'm wearing horrible clothes to catch horrible people. It's depressing. Lieutenant looks down at his bomber jacket and shrugs, obviously content with his uniform. Please. Fine, fuck it. Young man takes his jacket off. Here, take it then. I can't handle this sad shit. It's true, he simply can't. It's called empathy. Oh, I did not see that coming. You better wear that jacket with pride. Fuck, Dad, you're not getting mine. The other one snaps at you. My dad's a lawyer in the Delta. He'll have your badge. No, he won't. Lieutenant is lightly amused by the situation. Wait, world fucker, you got a rich dad? No, he looks startled. He's like a volunteer lawyer, total bitch, cites law and does dishes. You know what, cop? Fuck you. That's not what this is about. You're not getting my jacket. Fuck him. We don't need his rich dad jacket anyway. Fuck it. We don't need the other one. If I got the jacket for you, I'm not wearing that jacket. Why not? You could really raise hell. Go undercover. Hard. I don't think this case requires us to go undercover or raise hell. In fact, I don't think the jacket will be useful at all. Still, it's good to know we have it. Should the need arise. The need will not arise. Look at this cute shit. The dark-haired youth points at you, then turns to his friend. How can we become skulls if you go around fraternizing with cops? Let's get the fuck out of here before anyone sees us. Fuck, I'm sorry, man. He hangs his head in shame. I just don't like confrontations, that's all. Incredible. Incredible characters. Jesus. The leather jacket that quite recently belonged to a young man who possessed some intimate knowledge on the human condition. It has his nom de guerre written on the back. It's quite a statement. -1 authority. Wait, I'm a detective? No fucks given. Oh, man. I just... Yeah, okay. I just wanted to get it. Up the radio. I need to report a dead body on the Martinez boardwalk. One moment. You can hear her shuffling through some papers. Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death? An unidentified middle-aged man, height 170, 175 centimeters, dark hair, medium build, looks like he slipped, fell through the hole in the boardwalk, and hit his head against the metal bench. We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him and traces of vomit on his shirt. Any signs of violence? No, seems like it was an accident. No field autopsy necessary, she repeats. What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes? He was wearing boots, trousers, and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found a library card from his pockets. Any information on the library card? It's from Central Jamrock Public Library. Belongs to someone named Billy Magine. Good, you have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else? Assign it to someone else, Alice. We've got enough on our plate. Great, I'll give it to your colleagues. You don't have to worry about the case anymore. We'll send our officers to take away the body. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Could you run a serial number from a pair of armored boots for me? Sure, officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it. Got it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then. The International Collaboration Police, ICP, is an intersolary law enforcement service, the crown jewel in the moral intern diadem alongside EPIS and the coalition government. Connect me to the 41st again. Happy to report I found my badge, Jules. 10-4, sir. Glad to hear that. I'll write down that there's no need to issue a new one to you. Over. Okay. That's that. Mailbox. Mailbox? This post L'Aventurier mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. Closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front. Drop the white envelope into the mailbox. You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what sounds like a couple of letters. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slug Everard. You know he's gonna play you somehow. Alright, let's go back to Everard. Lieutenant turns toward the industrial harbor. If we don't mention anything to him, you won't know before it's too late. Okay, let's run all the way back over there.
C'est unpromising.
No, I mean I like that guy, but okay, I have to go around, I guess. Slowly but surely, we're getting stuff done. Maybe he'll just hand me my gun. That'd be nice.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you're already sat on that chair.
Done. I mailed the signatures you asked me to mail. The golden boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. He claps his hand together like a child who's just been offered cotton candy. Of course, I already knew this. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be the true man of the left. I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi, nods to the lieutenant, smiling broadly. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun. Nothing is off the table. Judging from how happy he is, it looks like you did it. He doesn't appear to suspect trickery. Well done, sire. By guile and deceit, you're in. You don't know his full plan. Perhaps he expected trickery. Perhaps the signatures weren't important. The point is, do not think you're ahead of him. Can I get my gun now? Harry, I've got to be honest with you. He turned solemn. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me, but it had to be done. Fine. Where is it? An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character, so watch out. This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy, the one he described as terrifying. So the gun's still with the woman who bought it from Roy. Yeah, it's the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. He smiles, shakes his head in wonderment. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that. Wild. Anyway, Union boys are gonna help you fix it, he winks at you. Don't worry, Harry. The namers of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me in the Debardu's Union. Apparently she was waving it around at the entrance to her building. Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this does. She was waving it around at people? As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. He smiles. Sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt. We might be looking at someone with a medical history here, and watch out. Who is this old woman? Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous could she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs. There it is again, the Pigs, like Roy said. Not good at all. I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig. A smile flickers in the corner of his mouth. It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction. Can you set up a meeting? I already have. He holds out his index finger. Tonight, starting 2200, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, he claps his hand. Back to the fun stuff. She'll be there from 22 till 2. Till 2. More fun stuff. Did you order the hangman killed? Order it? You know my men didn't kill him. They told you. It was a happy accident. You know how it is. No one takes the initiative. If I wanted him dead, I would have had to do it myself, and I'm too fat for that. Why are you so fat? Glad you asked. I've got type 2 diabetes because sugar and fat was all my mother had to give me and my brother Edgar when we were kids. He wags his finger at you. Good job, too, as it made me ugly. And ugly people, Harry, are much better at politics. That is true. People don't trust pretty people. What do you gain from him being dead? Why, a war, of course. And what do you have to gain from a war? Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We're going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war. They're trained military people. Aren't you afraid for your men? Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste. How is this connected to the strike? Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Pauses to rub his chin. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people. And fuck Wild Pines. So that's why you even let Joyce in. Yes, it's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. Can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her asshole. She has no chance. What? Tits from her asshole. It's a local saying. Actually, no, it's not. Why are you telling me your plans? Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. He looks at the swordfish clock and nods. It's already happening. Who killed the hangman? No idea. Could have been his own mother for all I know. If you ever find the guy, give him a big fat kiss from Everard Clare. Couldn't have done it without him. He really doesn't know. How do you know it's a guy? I don't. I told you it could have been his own mother. Pretty sure it wasn't anyone from the Union. Maybe it was the mob, or maybe he killed himself because he was a closet socialist. Truth is, I simply don't know. He really doesn't. How many of you guys are there in the Union? 2,372, he replies like a whip. Plus yours truly, of course. 2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in Revachol. How are you going to fund your new independent harbor? Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients who will ditch us? Harry, we've thought of everything. Clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day. You can't possibly hope to continue like you have. Clients will leave en masse. Sure, some will go, but mark my words, the company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez, and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic, new revenue streams. Drug trafficking. Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaritan Isla. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities. That's just the top of the iceberg, though, isn't it? The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad. He makes air quotes. Has bad optics. May be illegal in some countries. The Debardeau's Union, however, we're all about the large volume column. In bulk shipping, large volume column is a major buyer. A shark. We're going to transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. He slams his fist on the desk once more. So your sick kid can get his Benefed and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off Risperidone. Benefed is children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored, and Risperidone is used to treat severe psychosis. And the kids on the street can get speed and Perholidin. I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned. He smiles. He smiles. But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share, and I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez. He's basically admitting to it. Is Ruby helping you secure this fantastic share? Harry, if I was supplying raw materials to drug manufacturers, I would need an army of rubies. Lieutenant nods slowly. Understood. Interesting stuff. I just want to solve this murder, okay? You know why you're such a good detective, Harry? You don't get sidetracked. You care about the people you're supposed to protect, not some systems that may or may not be unethical. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbor's turnover, just like the harbor is but a small part of Martinez. Go on. Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music, young mothers who want to start businesses, models who want to walk catwalks, and steel welders who want to weld steel. I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be in on the wealth, and everyone's going to pull their weight. Not feeling a whole lot of Revachol here. Not enough flags or kings. Harry, the future I have in store for Martinez will have all the macho aesthetics you love so much. The crowns, the guns. I'll even slip in a skull and a bones for you, my friend. Oh yeah, skull and bones. Skull and bones on the Revacholian flag. The Revacholian Death Squad. Oh yeah, the visual image has completely bedazzled you. You're 100% with Everard now. Can I ask you about specific Union members? We're way past specific Union members now. This is the big time. His eyes are shining. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry. You can bother Leonard with that. He points to the door. He loves to run his mouth on such matters, but I'm in big time mode, Harry. Alright. Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We've united the RCM and the Debardeau's Union. Suddenly there's sadness in his tone. This, he points to you then himself, has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open. There's probably a fat joke there. Yeah, I mean, his shit basically sounds like something like Gug would do in one of my in an RPG campaign, like Sprawl. So I guess I'm on board, but really, I mean, what am I gonna? No, I'm not gonna stop this guy. I just want to solve a murder. That's what I'm here to do. Now I can level up, and we have this bullet that I can inspect. Bullet, hand-eye coordination legendary. We're gonna keep working on hand-eye coordination. And eventually we will solve this bullet. Hold on. Oh, I definitely don't have any items that boost hand-eye coordination, right? I think I checked last time and I was disappointed. I think I probably have some items that, like... No, nothing. It's never mentioned. Alright, then we just try it and see how it goes. 17%. Nope. Alright, until next time then. Leave it off here. My name is Mangg. Gaming watching has been Disco Elysium. I'll see you fine folks in the next part.